Hey, this is rubbish, man.
Okay, maybe it will be a little immature of me, but just who gives a fuck?
But I think Chelsea's key to success in the Champions League is sacking their manager mid-season.
Boring.
Could have been more, should have been more.
Pep's squad always looks weird.
He literally snatched the title from Liverpool.
What does he have to prove anyway? He's got the money, he has the funds, he's there to win them titles.
Where is the consistency?
Get out of here right now. Please, someone shut his laptop. Please.
I'd be a moron to refute Mazhar on this one.
Respect.
Oh.
Hi guys, welcome back to All About Sports, the podcast, and a brand new episode. Today's episode is football, and there's a lot to cover in football based on what's happened the last couple of days. The main focus is going to be Chelsea versus Man City, the Champions League final. To start off with, obviously, you guys are joined by a regular host, Mazhar, Aniket, Rishabh, and myself, Shubham. Now, before I open this topic, just a few things for all our viewers and listeners. Chelsea start the season by spending 250 million. They get in some really good players. They back Lampard. The season doesn't start off the way they wanted to. He gets fired. Another manager comes in, and Chelsea end the season winning the Champions League, which is something no one expected. While City start the season favourites, their fans are thinking about the quadruple, and it doesn't really happen that way. So I want to know. I want to start off with Krishnan. Krishnan, what do you think about how has Chelsea's season been? From where it started to where it ended, obviously, no one expected it like that. But what are your thoughts on it?
I think we joked about this a little while back, but I think Chelsea's key to success in the Champions League is sacking their manager mid-season. I think as long as they do that, they'll end up getting a Champions League. I mean, it's a fantastic end to the season for them. I think since Tuchel's taken over, I'm still confused on how good Tuchel is as a manager, but you can't deny what he's done with Chelsea. I think since he's taken over, really reminiscent really of their last time when they won the UCL. Again, like halfway through the season, looking pretty terrible. This new manager comes in. That time it was Roberto Di Matteo. This time it's Thomas Tuchel. Transforms their season to which to the point where they qualified in the end for the Champions League and then also win the Champions League. So they'll be in it for sure next year.
And also, I think Tuchel he beat all the top managers, didn't he? Like 9 games or something like that. He beat Klopp also. He beat Guardiola. Like basically all the top managers of top teams, he beat all of them. So I think kudos to him, yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, he's had a fantastic, really run in the Champions League the last 2 years if we think about it. Taking PSG to the finals last year. They obviously lose to Bayern. But, I mean, you can't fault the job he's done. A fantastic end to the season for Chelsea. I don't think any of us would have seen this happening, even 6 months back. So, great comeback. It's debatable whether they definitely weren't favorites going into the game. I think the game was pretty even. You can probably give them the advantage. It didn't feel like the last time they won where it was like Bayern all the way and they just somehow squeaked a goal out. This felt like a much closer game, and credit to them, man. I want to hate, but you got to give them credit where credit's due, man. They got the opportunity and they took it. They took it to the fullest.
Oh, absolutely. Like, obviously, mid-season when I think Lampard was sacked, everyone was like 250 million spent and Chelsea's having a horrible season. They probably won't make top 4. And like you said, even if you want to hate, you can't say much because they have justified their money spent and they won the Champions League. So, Mazhar, I want to ask you about City's season. City were obviously favourites. They started off a little rough. Then they went on this long winning streak across competitions. And everyone expected them to win the quadruple. But they end the season with the Premier League and the League Cup. Your thoughts on City's season and their performance across competitions?
Mazhar, and also quick question, if both Manchester teams lose in finals of the Europa League, what color is Manchester? Is it like just a blue-red mix, or you give it to a third Manchester team potentially? What happens then?
Give it to
I'm just going to ignore this.
Krishnan thought of this before. I know Krishnan has thought of this before.
I was thinking
But
of team.
It's such a terrible joke that I want to throw my shoe from here across the world and make it hit you somehow in Chicago. But coming back to City season, man, what a team, yeah. What a season, whatever. They started off with full turmoil. It didn't look like it was going well. Let's face it, there was a glimmer of hope for a lot of teams to potentially make a run and actually win the league title. We saw Spurs, what a start they had. I mean, Aston Villa went unbeaten for so long. Beat Liverpool 7-2, was it?
Yeah, 7-2.
Yeah. So could have been more, should have been more. But but yeah, I mean, then suddenly, like you said, they went on that incredible winning streak, was on the verge of being one of the longest winning streaks in Europe ever. And then obviously United ended it. That was a great moment. And that's when we thought that, the tide might change, something might happen. United were in the title race for literally 3 days. But all in all, they looked unstoppable, man. The football they were playing, Phil Foden, a revelation created, obviously slightly hyped by English media, that's bound to happen. But they just look like a perfect Guardiola side, like the best Guardiola sides we've seen. Probably the closest a Man City team has been to the Barcelona teams that he's had. And the quadruple was in for the taking. Obviously, the Carabao Cup is like, for them, it's a joke. They've won 4 of the last 5. They literally just, I mean, their third team is better than most first teams in the Premier League. Third team I'm talking about. So, I mean, yeah, that was it. FA Cup, wow, great showing by Chelsea. They really choked them in that entire semi-final. I'm just super happy that Leicester won. Just absolutely crushed that Chelsea ended up winning the Champions League and finished top 4, and Leicester missed out again. So that's super sad that happened. But I guess it comes down to this. City's players have never had that experience of lifting the Champions League, right? None of those players in that team, if you look at it, has lifted the title, if you think about it. I, at least in my memory, I don't think anyone has lifted the cup. It's only Guardiola who's lifted the cup.
Even I'm thinking, I don't think anyone has.
I don't think so.
Anyone has, exactly. So I think that plays a vital role in terms of what you're going into. I'm not saying Chelsea either had. None of their players also have lifted the Champions League. But the difference is, I think just Chelsea wanted it more. And I think City had much more to lose. So there was a bit of pressure and they crumbled in the end.
Hey, who's Chelsea's right back? I think he's lifted the cup, no, before?
Reece James.
Aspi?
Azpilicueta.
Yeah. Hasn't he won it?
Aspi. Yeah, Aspi did with Chelsea only previously, didn't he?
Yeah.
But I thought that point it was Ivanovic. Sorry, anyway, I got sidetracked. Was it?
Yeah, he may have been. See, listen, I don't remember and I don't care about that Chelsea team anyway. And I still don't care about them.
No, but you have a fair point that City's players don't have that experience. Yeah.
Yeah, but then you can say that about Chelsea also. But N'Golo Conte, man, that guy is literally the reason why Chelsea won this game. You can say all you want, Kai Havertz scored the winning goal and all of that jazz, but it was all Conte. He shut down that entire midfield, and that's when you control the game against Man City. You shut down Kevin De Bruyne, you shut down the entire system. United did the same thing in the Premier League. It worked. That's where I think City lost out because they lack that. Again, I feel like there's that over-dependence in creativity on De Bruyne before they got away with it because they had Silva slotting in. I feel like that was exposed here. You can't expect a 19-year-old Foden to do that on the biggest stage. He's not an Mbappe at the end of the day, let's face it. All in all, credit to City still. Amazing season. They literally steamrolled everyone and showed the levels that teams have to reach in the Premier League. And let's see next season. I'm super excited about next season because this Premier League is so unpredictable. Krishnan already mentioned it on our Instagram weekend update as well, where all the leagues were so unpredictable this time. We had new winners in France. I mean, it went down to the wire last day in the La Liga as well. All these leagues saw like such a tight title race till the end. So super excited for European football going into next season.
Fantastic. So while Krishnan and Mazhar have given a quick brief on Chelsea and City season, Gui, the one thing that I want you to describe for all our viewers and listeners is just the final. Chelsea versus Man City. What do you think about the game? What do you think about the performance? If there are any individual players you want to highlight, just go for it, man.
Boring. That's the only thing I have to. It was. Let's be honest. I don't think barring one man there was any real standout performance. The goal was okay. That's a great pass, but did you see any other great pass? No. Did you see Werner kind of look underconfident about even taking a shot? Yes. and that's not
You should
really a
ask me,
fun.
did you even bother to see the finals? No.
Exactly, right? So that's the thing. I mean, I was hoping it would be. It was slightly edgy in the beginning, but then once the nerves settled in, everyone was just playing a very, very regular tempo game. Nothing special about it. The goal, I mean, the ball for the goal was great. I'll be honest. That was fun. You know that Chelsea can come up with such things and hurt you on the counter. City had a few chances, but somehow Chelsea looked pretty solid at the back. Like the last ditch tackles came, and those, I mean, you managed to keep City at bay for 90, which never seems like a very easy task to do. But Chelsea seemed like on top of it, which is, I mean, great. Like the Chelsea team can really be proud of the performance, because that's exactly what you hope for, right? When you are playing a very lethal attacking side, you want to shut them down. That's probably your priority, and they managed. But compared to what Chelsea has given us in the Champions League final, this is by far probably 3 levels below in terms of excitement, because you're used Chelsea in finals, you're used to like a 30-minute extra time plus penalties. That's just it, right? So so that's what I was hoping for, but it didn't. But I kind of called it. Like I was very proud of myself. I generally don't uh, call games, because I just think the nature of sport is that you best not bet on anything. Um, but I just had a feeling, like Mazhar said, just the fact that, again, Chelsea has been on the CL final stage a few times. Manchester City as an entirety of a club has done it in what, like, I don't know which year. They qualified for the first time in the Champions League in 2011 after some 40 years, 30, 40 years. Chelsea has at least been a mainstay for a very long time now, almost a decade and a half at least. And they've had finals experience also. So it's fun to watch them. I just don't think it was like a Champions League worthy game.
Very much like the Spurs and Liverpool game as well. It was
Same logic.
yeah,
Like
very
boring.
anticlimactic.
They played harder in the Premier League. That's my point. They played harder in the Premier League, which
I think it was also
is
just
kind of
marred. It was marred a bit by injuries also, I think. Like Kevin De Bruyne having to go off, Thiago Silva having to go off, which I'm not saying is an excuse for bad play, but like
very early they went out.
It just kind of screwed the momentum maybe.
One thing that Mazhar mentioned, Liverpool-Tottenham final. And so that was last season, right?
Yep.
So
season before last. Last was PSG Bayern.
When Liverpool won it. So
basically in the last 3 Champions League finals, we've had 4 English clubs. So that in fact looks very positive for English football, yeah, because for a long time, if like all of us remember, it was dominated by Spanish football. Then in the middle you had your Bayern and Juve making it to the semis and finals. And now finally you have English clubs, yeah, 4 clubs in the last 3 years is very good. But yeah, like how you mentioned, Gui, obviously it was a very boring final. But so I didn't watch the final, but when I was seeing the highlights, it didn't really seem like City also had like too many clear-cut chances. And whatever they had, I think Chelsea's defense was top-notch. But one thing I'd like to talk to you guys about, and whoever has an opinion, please go ahead, is City's selection. So there seems to be a lot of questions raised on City's selection, starting an out-of-form Sterling, going with no centre defensive midfielder. So what do you guys have to say about that? Like, do you think a lot of people are saying Pep was overthinking the selection? What do you guys? What's your take on it?
My personal opinion is Pep is one of he knows what he wants from his players. He has and it's not like any other team has the same requirements as him. He is one of the most astute, most self-aware managers in terms of what he wants, and he gets those kind of people. I just think that some days it doesn't work and things go wrong. I don't really see any issues with. I don't think I saw any issues with his selection. I mean, looking at the team, they had. John Stones, Diaz, Zinchenko, Kyle Walker, Silva, Gundogan, Foden as the kind of holding, and then they played a false 9 with De Bruyne, at the start. I feel like he's done that a lot. He likes it. It's weird to us because he's the only dude that can execute a false 9 as well, that well. There is no other manager that...
No, I think Klopp also does it pretty well, yeah.
I was just going to say that. Klopp at Dortmund killed that.
Yeah.
Dortmund absolutely slayed that, and that's what that's why Dortmund won those 2 Bundesliga titles under him.
That is true. Sorry. That is true. I do know, like, even Spain have tried it, but I don't think consistently executed as well as, as well as Pep. So I don't really think there was any issue with the selection. It's just some days it doesn't work. Like, you don't get the win, and that's how it is. But it only looks, Pep's squad always looks weird because there are so many, like, he would love to just play 10 central midfielders and a goalkeeper who can pass well if he could. But he can't do that, so he kind of tweaks a little bit. So, I mean, it's as weird as any Pep Guardiola lineup is, I guess, the way I see it.
Yeah, so Shubham, just to add to what Krishnan said, I will question the lineup. Sterling starting, considering that he didn't play, is always a questionable option. Match practice, according to me, is crucial in any sport. So suddenly to have Sterling playing in the biggest game in European football, just like that, and that too starting, was I think it was a gamble that he took in terms of his selection. There could have been back behind the scene reasons for it. Maybe Aguero wasn't feeling up for it. Maybe Jesus also was not 100% fit. There could have been a lot of things like that.
Apparently, I don't know if this is fake news or what, but I saw it on I don't know, Facebook or Instagram. It seems like Aguero has not always been in favor by Pep since the time Pep has taken over. I think it was Aguero's brother or someone who tweeted, and then he quickly deleted the tweet. Now again, I don't know if this is fake news or it happened for real, but it seems like Pep has not always liked Aguero. But I would personally think for a match like this, he should have started Aguero because I just think that guy's class.
And we've kind of seen it, right, in the selection. Like, it's confusing that Aguero hasn't consistently started since he's been, like, beginning was injury, but once he got back from his injury, he was still playing Jesus a good amount. So there was obviously something going on there. But it's always, again, like, I can't tell with Pep because, like, I don't think he likes number 9s. Like, Zlatan didn't get along with him. He traded Eto'o. I just don't think he likes pure number 9s. He just doesn't like that. He doesn't like pure number 9s. He likes dudes who can, like, drop back and play playmaker and other people run in. So it's hard to ever judge his relationship with pure strikers.
So just coming back to the lineup, one more thing I will question, and Shubham, you mentioned it, the central defensive midfielder. I understand his selection though. He knew that Conte is going to be the pain in the ass. So he went in with Gundogan thinking that, I'm going to go and attack them. I'm going to go and try to take on Conte with my quality central midfielder. And that's the only way to probably beat Chelsea. And I thought that was a bold move on Pep's part. Sadly, it didn't work out because Conte was just phenomenal, man. And I genuinely, there was a nice post I saw where they showed the best midfield lines ever. And they've showed AC Milan's 3. Then they've showed... Barcelona's 3 of Xavi, Iniesta, and Busquets, and then they've shown just Conte, and it's so true, man. It's literally like, my God, what a player! What a phenomenal performance! What a phenomenal season! He's just too good, man. He's just
that guy's an absolute
3 back-to-back man of the match performances in the Champions League.
It's possible. I think it is. Yeah, you're right.
Both the semis and even in the final.
Amazing, man. What a player. He's actually too good.
Consistent, hardworking, humble, and quality on the ball and off the ball also. His movement is insane. Energy, everything. He's too good. But just sticking to Pep for a little bit. Like how Krishnan and Mazhar, you also mentioned about whatever Pep has done with the City team. Now let's just analyze Pep as a manager of Man City. Since the time he's come in, I think he came in 2016, if I'm not mistaken. I was reading up about all his transfers that he's gotten in. He spent around 700-800 million pounds. I remember there was this one season where he went out and bought like 4 new fullbacks, spending like 200 million or something like that out there. He had Joe Hart, who was England's number 1, replaced him. Then he got in Ederson. So he has bought in a lot of goalkeepers as well. He has had unlimited funds to spend and still doesn't deliver the Champions League. What do you guys think about Pep as a manager? Do you think obviously I agree that he's a very good manager, but do you think he's hyped a little bit? Like I will literally go out to say to an extent, like, okay, maybe it will be a little immature of me, but just who gives a fuck? I think Pep is a fraud. I think what he achieved with Barcelona was because he had like literally the best fucking generational player in almost every position midfield onwards. Like look at his centre mid, Xavi, Iniesta, Busquets. Like if you get that sort of a midfield, like you're sorted. Then you have a Messi, who quite frankly is one of the all-time greats, if not the all-time great. And then you had Villa for a period of time. You had Eto'o, you had Zlatan. Like you had all these amazing players. You go out there, you win the Champions League. Then you go to Bayern, a team which won the treble. I think he walks into that team. He makes it to 3 back-to-back semi-finals, doesn't win the Champions League, and you win the Bundesliga. It's no big achievement because, come on, dude, you're Bayern. You're supposed to win it, right? It's like PSG not winning the French league right now. It's just embarrassing. And then you come to City. You spend 700, 800 million. You win 2 Premier Leagues. Very good. But after that, what happens in the Champions League?
So the Champions League is a very different ball game, right? So you've seen some Champions League managers not being very good league managers either. Ancelotti, for example, doesn't have the most phenomenal league record, but he's one of the most venerated CL managers, which is a very so-so take on how managers should, how you assess a manager's capabilities, because a cup competition versus a league, it's very difficult to put. Also, it's the Champions League. So think about it. Inter beat Barca in the semis, right? If I'm not wrong. Same side which won the Champions League on either side of that year. Not much of a change. So, a cup, and that too of the Champions League's cadre, where you are going to have the best of the best play. At least he's consistent in terms of up until he was at City. There was consistency in terms of reaching the semis very regularly with Bayern also. Okay, and Bayern didn't really. If you see the Bayern sides of 2011 and 12, the aging side, he came and did a lot of revamping over there, and then consistent semi-finals. But yeah, I know what you mean. Like, if you have so much money, then why aren't you delivering even one since what, 2011?
And this is his first final. I think this is the first time he's gone beyond the quarters. Also. Yeah, I don't think he's crossed the quarters.
No, he made the semis once. He made it
out. Okay.
Yeah,
he made the semis once. In 5 years, one final in 5 years, but after that he's always gotten knocked out before quarterfinals.
Before or in the quarters, yeah. I think so. Like, I think there was one with Leon where
yeah. I remember that was amazing to watch. That was so good to watch.
That was last season. Last
season. Yeah, Memphis slaughtered them, man. I remember it. I was like, yes, that's the red boy. That's the red boy we love. But no, just to now I was actually thinking about it, and now I'm going to have to give my unbiased opinion here. Let's just say one thing. I definitely feel Pep is overrated. But okay, to his credit, he also made Barcelona that unbeatable, that strong. Like he found that entire system. He knew what Messi was going to produce, and he made that work. He had, the best centre-backs as well at the time in Puyol and Piqué. So he had a full golden team. That Spanish team won the fucking World Cup also. So
World Cup, Euros, World Cup. I think they won back-to-back competitions.
They won Euros, World Cup, Euros. World Cup, Euros. Yeah. So, I mean, that was the golden generation anyway. Most of Spain was Barcelona, and then the rest were Real Madrid. So he had the team, and obviously that's helped. He's taken the easy route by going to the best teams, but can you fault a manager of his caliber to going, why would he go to a Dortmund? Why would he go to a Chelsea or an Arsenal or a United at this point in time? I mean, Fergie was there, so he never stood a chance, let's face it, for United. But it just didn't make sense. For him to go anywhere else, City had the money. Why not? What does he have to prove anyway? He has got the money, he has the funds, he's there to win them titles. And like Gui said, man, it's a different ball game to win the Champions League. Fergie won it twice in 25 years. So I don't want to give him too much criticism on that, because he's still winning the league, right? And he's still been pretty strong in the league. It's just that people like to hate them because it's oil money, or so to speak, the term that they use. And because they've basically just outpaid and bought all the talent rather than created history on their own. Or had a story of the past to that's why we are so, I guess we it hurts us more, and That's why we like to critique him more, because United and Arsenal have such strong history in terms of football as a club. So I think that's why he gets the hate. I still say he's overrated because he's very. I think I disagree with Krishnan on this point. I think he's very egoistic. He's very egotistic in a lot of ways. In terms of he also needs to know when to draw the line and suck it up sometimes. We saw Fergie suck it up and accept that Cantona is a type of personality like that. Let him go if he's going to give you the results.
Bro.
Bro,
One thing that you mentioned about Fergie, very interesting comparison. But like for example, now I'm just trying to go back in time. 2008 United make it to the finals and we win. 2009 we make it to the finals, we lose. 2010 semi-final defeat. 2011 we make it to the finals. So in towards the end of Fergie's career, in those 4 seasons, 3 finals and 1 semi-final, and Fergie did not have that sort of money to spend. But Guardiola has a lot more money to spend. My only issue with him is, where is the consistency? I understand it's cup competition, errors can happen, there are fine margins, anything can happen. But there still has to be a certain level of consistency. Like in Bayern, he achieved that consistency, making to 3 back-to-back semi-finals. I think in City, he's got much more support from the owners. I don't know the exact numbers, but I believe he's got much more support. But still, that consistency is not there. So, Krishnan, what are your thoughts about it?
No, firstly, I have to say, like Muzz, I have to completely agree. I think what we're getting to is that Alex Ferguson is also overrated. I think is what you were saying, Muzz. I'm just kidding.
Krishnan, you need to leave right now.
I'm just kidding.
Get out of here right now. Please, someone shut his laptop. Please. I hope it hangs or something.
I'm just kidding. But what I wanted to say is, I think there are things that Pep does better than anyone else, and his system is built to be really successful in the league. And what I mean by that is, his teams create an unbelievable amount of chances. It's just ridiculous. Since he's taken over City, the volume of chances his team creates is ridiculous. It's incomparable to even when good managers have taken over good teams. And it makes it easy to be more successful in a league setting, because eventually you'll just score more goals over time. You'll just end up scoring more goals and you'll get wins. Like we were saying, what I think Pep Guardiola is not special at is a man manager. He's not I don't think he's as special in hyping people up, in finding what makes people work. He's a tactical genius. I don't think he's a genius with people. And I think that's kind of a good differentiator also between Alex Ferguson and him. Alex Ferguson is a phenomenal tactician, but I think what makes him even more special is he knew how to make people tick. We've heard the numerous stories about Pep Guardiola, right? He's had issues with Zlatan in the past. He's had issues with Eto'o, and both essentially came down to the same thing. He's not a great communicator outside of football. And I think when his teams struggle in cup competitions, because cup competitions, I feel, are a lot more prone to kind of variability and variance. A team like Real Madrid can randomly score on a counter. The same thing with this Chelsea game, right? That pass to Havertz and goal kind of came out of nowhere. You would have maybe fallen asleep in the game and suddenly you realize, oh shit, Havertz got a goal. Same for the Pulisic chance later on. It just kind of comes out of nowhere. And that's kind of the nature of UCL football. So I think his teams struggle with that, because I don't think what he's not great at is installing mentality such that if they go down, like they did in the Champions League final, coming back. So I think that's where his kind of weakness is. Saying he's overrated to me is a little bit tough, because he still creates unbelievable squads. To me, I agree Barcelona and Bayern aren't as impressive. To me, what he's doing with the City team in the Premier League is super impressive. Hitting off the bat, he had that 100, or maybe it was the second season where he got the 100-point season. He is, in my opinion, the greatest league manager in the world. The question is,
all time or just current generation, current set of
batch. I don't want to bring in the whole. Basically Fergie of the people I've watched. Basically Fergie. But I think about this generation, he's the greatest manager in leagues, because in leagues he will make sure at the end of the day you have more wins. The thing that you can't control for is random losses in between, and cups really highlight that, which means he's not. Which makes, that's kind of even the difference between Jose Mourinho and him, right? Jose Mourinho is phenomenal historically. Now, let's subtract last 6 years of Jose Mourinho. That's a different dude who showed up.
I have more trophies than all of these managers.
Yeah.
I have more trophies than all of these. Three.
Yeah.
Me, three.
Yeah.
Everyone else, two.
Yeah.
Respect.
So I would say, barring the last 6 years, Mourinho is the greatest Champions League manager of the people who are currently managing. Pep Guardiola is the greatest league manager of the people currently managing. What he does in leagues is unbelievable.
Like winning 14 back-to-back from the Liverpool game onwards, where he took he literally snatched the title from Liverpool.
Yeah.
From that Sane winner onwards, it was all City. It's phenomenal to win every game. 14 games is slightly less than half of the season. 14 games is slightly less than half of the season. You go not unbeaten. You on a winning streak for slightly less than half of the season. It's phenomenal. You need
both those teams, man, that season, Liverpool and them, wild.
I was jealous. I'll be honest, very jealous.
One thing that I'm thinking right now, Krishnan, like you mentioned, he's perhaps one of the greatest, if not the greatest league manager of this generation. I would kind of argue that point based on like for example, I think Klopp is also fantastic. Now Klopp in the Bundesliga with Dortmund, not with so much money influxed into the team, with youth, winning 2 seasons back to back and breaking the dominance of Bayern, coming to Liverpool and winning the league after 30 years or something like that, and making Liverpool a really good side. I would argue that perhaps he could be one of them, and even Simeone. I think what he's done with Atletico is also remarkable. He's broken the dominance of Barca and Real Madrid, winning the league twice. And he was also at a point very consistent in the Champions League, making it to back-to-back semi-finals or something like that.
So the two things I want to say, a little bit of pushback on so I understand that he's played on teams that have given a lot of financial support, but I also think he has a brilliant understanding of what players are good for him. Because frankly, United spent a lot. I'll even say Arsenal spent a lot. I'll even say Chelsea spent a lot. He's found ways to bring in people who he knows will work for his system, or bringing people up who are, young players in their team. You look at that Bayern team. Joshua Kimmich, everyone knew was a phenomenally talented player. What he made Joshua Kimmich by the end of his tenure is unbelievable. And he's doing the same thing with the Phil Foden here at Manchester City. So I give him a little bit of credit in the sense that it's not that he's just going out and being, Haaland is really good, let's buy Haaland. It's not that blatant that he's just blindly picking up people with money. He's buying guys who are really sensible that other people could pick up too, right? I mean, Mahrez was available to other teams as well. I mean, he's picking up sensible dudes who work well. The one flaw that he's had at City is basically they don't understand how to get a good defender. That's the only place where he's been struggling in the transfer market, because they signed Otamendi and Mangala, and they've just tried thrown the kitchen sink and tried to get every single central defender. But midfield and going forward, he knows what he likes and he knows what he wants, and he just makes smart pickups that frankly other teams could also make. Ilkay Gundogan was not a big money signing, big name, not a huge money signing, right? He looked a little bit aging. He saw his value and went, no, we could use this guy. Fernandinho, some would thought, okay, it's kind of starting to get phased out. Pep goes, I don't know. I think I could play him as a centre back and it could work. I don't think it's like a Chelsea, right? It's not like they're signing Shevchenko and Kai Havertz and Werner. Those are very obvious. Those are very obviously great signings everyone's going for. He's going for people who are really good, but not necessarily just the most famous names who are in the transfer market. So I give him credit for that, at least at Man City, he's using his money very sensibly, even though, he has a lot of money to use. So,
well, fair enough. So with that, we have spoken a lot about Chelsea, City, Champions League. And now we'll be getting to the exciting part of this podcast, the rapid fire. So today's rapid fire is going to be based around the Champions League, European football a little bit, as in the different European competitions, and a little bit of the Premier League. So before we start off with the quiz, just a quick update on the scores. Aniket is at 5, Rishabh is at 5, I'm at 5, and Mazhar is at 4. So Mazhar has some catching up to do. And to start off with the quiz, first question. How many Champions... Okay, now this one is a little easy. How many Champions League titles have Liverpool won? And you have to at least name 3 different managers under whom they've won it. Mazhar, you want to go first?
So, yeah. Oh, actually, should I go first? Okay. So, Liverpool have 6 Champions League titles. Kenny Dalglish, Rafa Benitez and Jurgen Klopp.
Krishnan?
I'd be a moron to refute Mazhar on this one, but I have to say the same three. I only know those three as winning. Kenny Dalglish, Jurgen Klopp, and in our lifetime, I'm assuming it's just those three. So those three and 6 Champions Leagues. So before all the previous definition of the tournament.
No, I'm counting both. Both.
You're counting the previous definition of it as well.
Yeah. So they have won X number of titles, counting the previous and this definition.
Take it. 6
European Cups.
6.
European Cups.
6.
Gui?
It's 6 only because I think when they threw their match again, then they didn't throw their match. When they kind of fielded their second team against Madrid or some good side, everyone was like, how can the second most, second or third most successful team in the Champions League do this? Like, they're kind of saying that we gave up before, and that's how I know it was 5 then. And it's 6 now after the Klopp win, and it's Klopp, Benitez in the that night in Istanbul and all those ones which I heard for 1 decade, and Dalglish before that.
Guys, so 6 is the correct answer, but Kenny never won the Champions League with them as a manager. The 6 managers, the 6 Champions League titles, there's Klopp, there's Benitez, Bob Paisley won 3.
Paisley won 3, man. Fuck
And it
yeah.
is Joe Fagin who won another one. So
Fuck
Kenny
yeah,
never
it was
won.
Paisley, man. Yeah, Dalglish was
While you
captain
got
when
half
they won.
the answer right, I'm not giving anyone points for this because you all didn't get the entire thing right, okay?
I'm fine with that. Yeah, I would have guessed. Yeah.
Fuck, I should have just said Paisley. Yeah.
So 0-0-0. Now second question. Now pay attention, okay? Which Great Britain player has the most Champions League title? Think and answer, okay? This is Great Britain. I'm not talking about England or something like that, okay?
I think. Oh no, actually, I'll
Okay. So Gui, you go first.
I can't come up with a name because Maru's asking it. Is it Giggs?
That was honestly
give
my
the
answer.
answer.
That was honestly my answer as well. It was going to be gigs because of how much you're saying UK. That was going to be my answer.
I just think no, but I don't think Malu would make it that obvious. But I can't come up with someone like who's not English and who's won it.
I don't know, dude.
Just stick to Giggs. If we get it wrong, all 3.
But he needs to overtake us. Muz needs to overtake us.
What if it was Graham Souness? How many did he win? I don't know, dude. No, fuck it. Giggs.
Is it Bale?
I tell you what, guys, it is Gareth Bale with 4 Champions
Fuck,
League.
that's exactly what I want to change it to. God damn it.
Fuck,
Does that
Bale won 4?
Yeah, 4 with Madrid.
Very odd sitting.
He's won 4 with Madrid. Oh yeah, he won the hat-trick and then he was on 1 more. Oh shit, man.
Guys.
Yeah, this was a...
Pay attention,
Pressure is
guys.
getting to us. Pressure is getting to us,
Yeah,
man.
dude, I
Pressure is
should have just
getting to
held.
us.
I should have held on the gigs because that was what I was going to change it to was Bale. I was like, man, they takke in its side.
I thought of
And that's why I was specifying Great Britain, hoping that you all will think of a Welsh player and stuff. And you all thought about
Yeah,
Giggs,
but
you
problem
think
is he
of
thought
Bale.
about Giggs, man. Yeah, man. Shit.
Okay, anyway, so the score is
Embarrassing. Yuck.
Moving
I'm
on.
so disappointed with myself today.
Moving on.
Go up my game.
Okay, I'll give you a hint because I want someone to open the scoring. During the podcast, I had mentioned this, okay? How much money has Pep spent since joining City closest? Anyone who comes to the closest figure gets the point.
779 million.
779 is Gui. Mazhar?
What is 779? Yeah, fuck.
Come on.
I wanted to say 780, but now I'm like, fuck, what is 779? Yeah. 775.
779, 775. Krishnan?
Round number 750 million.
750. The correct answer, who said 779?
I did.
Yeah, so Gui gets the point because based on my calculation, it was 820. So Gui is the closest. So the score is Gui 1, Mazhar and Krishnan 0. Now the next question. Which club has lost the most Champions League finals? Krishnan, go first.
Lost the most Champions League finals.
And if you guys manage to get closest to the amount of finals they've lost, I give a bonus point. So actually this question is for 1 point, but if anyone gets close, then you get a bonus point.
I know this one, yeah. Come on, I'm going last for this now. I'm not sharing any points with anyone now. Yeah, I'm done with this.
I'll say Manchester United.
Ouch.
4.
For
Ouch.
okay.
It's
Gui?
not that, I guess.
No, it just hurts when you said that.
God, my recent I mean, United has lost. Like
Yeah, recently
I
we
remember.
lost.
Yeah,
We've lost a lot.
I'm just gonna stick with United also, and I'm gonna say 3.
Okay, so
Thank you,
Krishnan,
guys.
you
It's
say three.
Juventus. It's Juventus and it's 7.
So the correct answer is Juventus, and it is 8. So Mazhar
8?
gets yeah, they have lost 8. So Mazhar gets Juventus right, and he gets the bonus also because he's the closest. So the score is
Yeah.
2-1-0. 2 for Mazhar, 1 for Gui, and 0 for Krishnan. Krishnan, come on, man. Okay, now this is a fun one, and you guys should pretty much easily get it. Okay, first English team to qualify for the European Conference Cup. Krishnan.
Uh,
Bro,
I know this.
bro.
I know. It's Tottenham. It's Tottenham.
Aniket.
Spurs beat Arsenal to that qualification, if I'm not wrong, this year.
And Mazhar.
Yeah, it's Spurs only. That's why you asked it. I know. You're such a savage. I love it.
So 1 point each. So it is 3-2-1. Okay.
I loved the memes which came after it. You know that airport is one Sissoko overhead kick away from a disaster because the stadium to an airport.
Okay. Now the next question. How many Premier League titles have City won? And you have to guess.
One
At
minute.
least-
Premier League or English League titles?
No, only the Premier League. How many Premier League titles City has won? And there's a follow-up question to that, but I'll only say it after you give me your answers. So, who has not gone first for a while? Chal, Mazhar, you go first.
Premier League is 5.
Okay. Gui.
It's 5.
Krishnan.
And I'll tell you, I'll give you a reference from why I know it from our podcast only.
Okay.
Yeah, it is 5. It is 5. This is one of the rare ones where I can confidently count
I
back.
remember that when we were discussing our Premier League top 10, we mentioned what if Aguero wins another PL title? Will his legacy be the same as Rooney's? Because that was the differentiator between the two of them.
Wow, that is some memory, man. But okay, yeah, the correct answer is 5. So all of you will get 1 point. But there's a follow-up question, so a chance to make an additional bonus point. Out of the 5 Premier League titles that they've won, mention any 4 out of those 5 titles that they won. Mention the years that they won it. So we'll go in the same order. Mazhar, you go first.
Arey yaar. Okay. 2012, 2014, 2018, 19 and 21.
Gui.
So 18, 19, 20, 21. I think the 11, is it? Okay, the 13, 14 season, I think it is them. 11, 12.
Okay, and Krishnan.
So first one's definitely 2012.
Hmm.
Last one's obviously 2021. So last year Liverpool won, but the year before that for sure Klopp won. So then the one before that has to be 2019. Sorry, not Klopp. I mean Pep. 2019, and then 2018 also he won. I thought. Okay, so 2018. So I said 2021, 2019, 2018, 2012. Yeah, let's go with that.
Yeah, so all of you will get a bonus point.
And then
Mancini
Pep.
won, Pellegrini won, and then Pep. Now, next question. This is an easy one. I think it was already discussed on this pod, so that's a hint. Most Premier League points in a season. You guys just go for it. Give a chorus answer, man.
100.
Mazhar.
Yeah. 100.
Okay, that was an easy point.
Liverpool should have overtaken them, but they somehow after COVID decided to forget about the league or something.
They were too busy celebrating.
Yeah.
Most successful manager in the Europa League, and how many titles he's won?
हमारा Unai Emery.
Titles?
4.
Gui.
Emery 4, 3 Sevilla, 1 Villarreal.
Yes, sir. Emery 4.
Yeah, and this question now, I am giving all of y'all 3 points. Okay, all of y'all are going to get 3 points if you get it right.
It's a very generous quizmaster, bro.
Yeah,
Hey, listen,
yeah.
you're behind now, by the way, just FYI.
Very, very generous.
1
quiz.
round's left now.
And 3 points will be
Your
given
answer.
to the person who answers first.
Oh,
So
acha.
you all have to answer quickly, and who's ever answer I think is first gets those 3 points. Okay. How many Champions League's title have Manchester City won?
0.
0.
Gui gets 3 points.
God!
Hey,
It
this
was
is
good.
rubbish, man. What kind of a question is this? Yeah, this is bullshit, man.
It was a very easy question. You just had to. It was like fastest person first.
Fuck, this is the kind of thing I really needed, man. I really needed this one.
Yeah,
I
you
could have
really
really
needed
used this. Fair enough. Well played, Gui. Well played.
So
Damn
with
it.
that, we wrap up another quiz, another fun segment, and another episode. Everyone, stay tuned for our weekly episodes. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, and check us out on all our different social media platforms. The links will be down below. Check our previous episodes as well. The links will be down below. And we guys shall catch you all again very soon next week with a brand new episode. Till then, bye guys.